and Mr. Shuriti Gagan, the Honorable Director of IIEST, Professor Parthasarathi Chakraborty, the President of Institutions Innovation Council 3.0 of IIEST, Professor Subhashish Bhu, the Vice President of IIC-IIEST, Professor Konika Das Bhattacharya. She's also the coordinator of today's event. The other faculty coordinators and student coordinators of the council, faculty members of IIEST, and dear students joining us here as well as watching us live on a YouTube channel. I, Dr. Avri Mukhopadhyay, on behalf of IIT 3.0 of IIEST, welcome you all to our program today. This is also the first program to be organized by IIC 3.0 of IIEST. The Ministry of Education, previously Ministry of HRD, in the year 2018, through MOE's Innovation Cell, had launched the Institutions Innovation Council program in collaboration with AICTE for higher educational institutions. The purpose was to systematically foster the culture of innovation and startup ecosystem in educational institutions, as well as focus on idea generation and implementation. With this objective in mind, the IIC of IIEST has organized today My Story, a motivational session with successful innovators to discuss innovators' life, success story, and future scope. With this now, I would request our President of IIC-IIEST, Professor Subhashish Bhumi, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, madam. I, on behalf of Institutions Innovation Council 3.0 of IIST Shibpur, welcome you all to the first activity of the council related to innovations, incubations, entrepreneurship, and startup at higher education institutions. IIC's envision to network individuals, expertise, and resources to encourage, inspire, and nurture the innovative ideas of the young students and transform them into working models and startups. The objective of the council, which was established in 2018 as IIC 1.0 by the Ministry of Education through Innovation Cell, which is known as MIC, is basically to encourage, inspire, and nurture the innovative ideas of the young students of an academic institute and the university. The objective of the council is basically to cater the need of the young innovators and the entrepreneurs to fulfill their dream through the various activities and which will facilitate remarkable contribution to the economic growth and the social advancement of the nation, and also benefit the humanity as a whole. The function of IIC is basically to encourage the innovators and support them for the startup activity, conduct the various activities related to innovations, entrepreneurship, and startup, develop the network among the entrepreneurs and the innovators and the locality, organize industry academic interactions to promote innovations and the entrepreneurships. And ultimately, the objective of this IIC as a whole is making India a self-reliant nation. All the activities that to be done by IIC has been categorized into three different sectors. One is called as IIC calendar activity. Second one is known as MIC driven activity. That is Ministry of Education's innovation cell-driven activity. And the third one is self-driven activity. For your information, IST has secured 4-star, maximum we can have 5-star rating as per the annual performance rating of IIC 2.0. That means the previous IIC. And we have recognized as a mentor institute for the others low performing institutes under this IIC banner. In the last year, we have already conducted 54 activities in 4 different quarters. So basically a year is divided into a number of quarters, 4 quarters. And we have combined, which combines these activities, 54 activities. Out of these 54 activities, 17 are IIC calendar activities, 31 MIC driven activities, and 6 self-driven activities. With this said objective of IIC, this institution's Innovation Council of IIST Shibpur is organizing a motivational session on innovators' life, their success stories, future scope, and the hurdles they have overcome. Under the name My Story, Motivational Session by Successful Innovators. I'm very proud and I feel very proud today that we have with us 4 renowned innovators who are registered under IIM Innovation Park, and today they are here in IIST Shibpur to deliver a talk, to share their thoughts, to share their ideas, and they are here to show the light to our interested students. Perhaps all of us we know that now the market condition is very poor. There are a lot of challenges in the market. Practically speaking, there is no job as such. And now we have the duties and the responsibilities that how the students can get their own job or they can create their own job. Not only that, they create their own job, at the same time they are creating job for the hundreds and thousands of pupils. So as a teachers of an academic institute, we have the mandate to show them the light, show them the path, so that these budding engineers of an academic institute, they can stand on their foot and they can show the light to the others. So they will take the responsibility to build the nation in a bigger form, in a newer form. So we have with us today speakers, Mr. Prantik Sinha, Augusta Binds Private Limited, Mr. Devojit Deka, RC Hobbytech Solutions Private Limited, Mr. Kalyan Kole, Egyptian Animal Biocare Private Limited, and Mr. Suruchi Gagan, Technicia Automation Private Limited. And I'm very proud that they have found their time for this academic institute. And I hope that they will enlighten our students regarding this innovation kind of work, and they will actually show the true path which will bring success for the students. We have many such programs in the pipeline. I think we have 13, 14 programs we have to conduct. And in this particular semester, we are at the end, almost at the end, and we have to cover all the programs within this 31st of December. And in between, there is an exams, mid-semester examinations is going on. It will start from the next week, from Monday. But still, we have to conduct all these courses, all these programs within this 31st of December. And this is a really a challenging task to organize such events. And this is not possible without the active help and support of our students and the faculty members. And definitely, without the help of the experts, it's not possible to organize this kind of events. And we have a strong, dedicated, and very committed team of students and the faculty members. They are all trying their level best to make this event a successful one. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for delineating for us the functions and upcoming activities of the council. Now I would request our Vice President, Professor Konika Das Bhattacharya, to share a few words with us regarding today's program. She is also the coordinator of this program. Ma'am, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Professor Bhomik has already spoken. Our director was supposed to come to inaugurate, but he is now in a meeting which is not yet over. So I will take this opportunity to give certain examples. Whatever Professor Bhomik has said, that is very true, and we are following that. And that you have heard about the term Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is a self-reliant India. Now, one example of this is I came across this some 2 years back, and that was the time I got interested in this innovation when I found out that Israel and South Korea, they vie each other for the position of the most innovative country. And you know what? Israel is always fighting for existence against the Palestinians. And as a result, every household is a maker of arms and ammunitions. They even have very high-end, some have very high-end technologies. They are using embedded systems. And every courtyard has a kind of a manufacturing unit in their household. So now it is so much of the innovation is in tiers, it's in layers, and it is to the grassroots. And that is the reason in the arms exposition, their stalls get the most visitors, the other countries visit the Israeli stalls. And in the other case, when I talk about South Korea, they are also coming out with innovations. And you know what is there? There, the Samsung company is so deep rooted with the country's growth and with the policy making of the government that they are trying to find out the innovative research in any school or in institute, and they are instantly taking that up. So their tying up is very very symbiotic, and the country is benefiting as a result, because the government and the corporates are both involved in the growth of the economics of the country. And as a result, these two countries, you will see that they are always toggling the positions of the innovation. Now, at this present juncture, I should say that India was in the 50th position uh, in the last year. So in this year, 2020, it has come up to 48. Not in the first 10, not in the first 20. So that is why the government has taken a very ambitious program, this Institute Innovation Council, so that we can also give you the seeping through of the ecosystem of innovation. See, you do not learn innovation in your class plus two, and it is not in your syllabus, but it is a way of life. You have to do some critical thinking, and it's the way of life also teaches you resilience. Now, this young buds, they have come. One of them is our alumnus who will going to speak. They will show you how resilient you have to be, how strong and robust you have to be to nurture a innovative system and ultimately give rise to a startup. So let us hear their story. And I thank all of you for coming and gracing and making this program so populous. Okay, so now Avery, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words and highlighting the topic, the issues of today's program. Before we move on to our speakers, the main program, there's a small announcement for the students. We will have an interactive session with the speakers today at the end. We have some time devoted for that. So if you have any question for our innovators, the speakers today, you can note them down and can ask them at the end.
मैडम हिंदी में भी कुछ विचारधारा रखें।
Uh, you're requested to keep your audio on mute mode. And yes, we will be carrying on with English because we have students participating from different parts of the country. If you have any question, you can ask that at the end of the session. Uh, Now I would request our first speaker, Mr. Prantik Sinha, who is also the founder of Agastya Buoyant Private Limited, to deliver his talk uh, now. Mr. Sinha, over to you, please.
And he needs to introduce himself also.
Yes, I'd request our speaker to kindly introduce himself uh, before going on to the talk. So please, over to you now.
Madam,
Isn't he here right now?
no, I think Pantik Shin has left the meeting. So maybe he will join soon, but you can call the second person.
Okay. Okay, so we will go on to Mr. Sinha when he joins. Right now, we'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Devojit Deka. He's the co-founder of RC Hobby Tech Solutions Private Limited. Uh, Over to you, Mr. Deka. Please your talk, and before that, kindly introduce yourself a bit to us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the kind invitation, first of all. And I know it's been a very good, and I mean, 20 minutes, listening to all of you. And knowing that this is the first time this is happening, and being a part of this thing. I mean, this is going to be very, enriching not only for the budding engineers who want to be entrepreneurs in the future, and but also for people like us, to interact with the talents who are currently in the college right now. So yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm Devojit Deka. I am basically from Guwahati, Assam, and I'm the co-founder of this company called RC Hobby Tech Solutions Private Limited. The name sounds a bit too long, but I'll just break it down for you. So RC Hobby Tech, how the name came is, RC means radio control, and we do we're dealing in a technology that has to do with radio controls. So the RC stands for the radio control, and Hobby Tech, it started off as a hobby. So we named this, in such a manner that all of our hobbies and the passion is in the name itself. So RC Hobby Tech Solutions Private Limited is the name of the company. I am one of the co-founders, and along with me there are two other guys. One is Mr. Ritesh Kanu, and the other one is Mr. Bishwajit Dev. The best part of this thing is, three of us are schoolmates. We've been studying together since pre-nursery, I would say, me and Bishwajit, and Ritesh joined us in the seventh standard. So, our relationship goes back to, that back. So we are, more than brothers, more, we're not friends, we're more than friends. So, I think that helps a bit when you're running a company along with your friends, because you know this guys already. So that's very important factor. So,
Sir,
yeah.
Mr. Deka, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Can you please switch on your video so that we
I
can
can switch
see?
on my video, no problem with that. But having a very bad connection today, so there might be disruption. That is the reason why actually I switched off my video. Just a minute. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So, okay, RC Tech Solutions. So, officially we actually the company was started in 2014, but we got incubated in IIM Calcutta in 2016. So under RC Robotic Solutions, we have two different brands. The name of one brand is this Drones Tech Lab, which you can see in my logo, and the other brand is called EduRed. So both of them have to do with drones, but a slight variant is there. Under EduRed, we conduct different kind of, the business model is such that we conduct different kind of trainings and provide technical knowledge, know-hows to various institutes, be it schools, college, not schools, be it higher colleges, engineering colleges, or or even to certain government clients. So that is the section that we this EduRed is looking after. And Drones Tech Lab purely is has been set up to develop unmanned aerial vehicles, or in simple terms we know it as drones. But then again, when you mention a drone, that becomes a very restricted category. But unmanned vehicles is something that any vehicles that is not manned is unmanned. So in simple terms, so we are not only into drones, we are also into on air, but also it has something to do when it runs on land or on water. So these are two different brands. So we started off in 2014, like I mentioned, with this brand called EduRed. And the model was such that at that point of time, although there were people involved in giving trainings, but providing training in the field of drones or unmanned aerial vehicles was very rare at that point of time. And I come from a mechanical background. I'm a mechanical engineer myself, and Biswajit, he is an aeronautical engineer. So we had our passions, we used to discuss when back in college that we would combine both our knowledges and expertise and do something in this particular domain, because that at that point of time, in 2013 and 14, this was a very hot and happening topic, not in India, basically not in India. So we had an opportunity of visiting China a couple of times before joining this company. So drone was like what drone is today in India, drone was something like that in China back in 2008 and 9. So we got that idea, from that location or from that place, that this could be replicated in India as well. So initially, because of we were just college passed out at that point of time, and we to survive and to sustain, we had to join some job. So during our free time, we used to meet together, and we used to discuss these things, and we used to keep aside some money from our salary to develop these models that could someday, that has today become drones that are being used by different clients, like Indian Army and various other PSUs, and other companies who has various requirements. So when coming to how idea generation happens and how implementation of that has to be taken on a front, so there are certain things that I would like to discuss from my experience. Although from our experience of this 5 or 6 years, then we could definitely share some of the most practical experiences from, I would say. Idea is something, idea is the most basic thing that has to be there when you're starting something. We all have ideas. I mean, 100 people are sitting here today with me, so all of you have been having some ideas, but having that idea alone is not enough. So there has to be a plan how to implement that particular idea that has to be taken front. And I guess one person alone may be sufficient or may not be sufficient. So it's very good to have certain strategies in place when you're thinking of something like developing that idea or making that idea or taking that idea to a next stage, when it could possibly be replicated in India. So there has to be a plan how to implement that particular idea. So there has to be a passion for something is one thing, and then again and then taking that passion into on a different level is another thing entirely. So yes, just let me just get back to this topic once again. Yeah. Yes, I have a
Will you
presentation,
be
but that's
presenting?
a company profile. But I guess I'll leave that out right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Please do some
Yeah.
presentations.
Okay. Yeah. So like I mentioned, Drone Stack Lab, we're two different companies, but focusing mainly on the drones technologies. So we'll discuss mostly about Drone Stack Lab today. Okay, is the screen visible to all?
Yes.
Yes, 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 sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So so I'll tell you something about the company, how, what, and how we do. I mean, now as you see today, if you Google out today, like about the drone companies in India, so you'll find many companies that have come up in the last couple of years. And as we talk today, there are more companies that are coming up. So what separates us from other companies is basically all the other companies are providing off-the-shelf solutions, wherein they have a solution with one particular goal in mind. If that solution needs to do some surveillance activities, then that drone will do surveillance activity alone. But then we develop solutions which are completely customized based on the requirement of the client. Now, if I need to give an example, then if somebody has a requirement for a drone that needs to carry a heavy payload, of maybe a hyperspectral payload, a hyperspectral camera, then there are no companies in India, or I would say there are very few companies around the world, across the world, who develop this kind of solutions. So we are that company who develops solution completely on the requirement of the customer. So this is our identity. This is completely our identity. Like there are, and we can proudly share that we are the only company in India who are dealing into customized solutions for unmanned aerial vehicles or unmanned vehicles. So that is our specialty, because this is the way we have planned our a business plan. This is the way we have strategized how we categorize into a company who develops just one particular solution. So this is our USP actually, and it's very important when you're building a company, or where you're building a startup. It's definitely it's very important to have your own USP. Like people should know you for what you're doing. People should not know, like you're any other company, any any company who is working on drones, but they should know what kind of a company you are. So this is what separates us from other companies, that we are a customized solution provider altogether. So this is our vision and mission. Is very important to have a vision and mission when you're building a company. And vision, everything changes, your strategies change, your the way of work you that change based on circumstances, but your mission and the vision of the company is has to be very stringent. It has to be your your heart and soul. That is what we have done so far. A vision are our these are the mission and visions, and we have stuck to it since the beginning of time for us. And I am Calcutta Innovation Park and Bamalori, our this thing, our shareholders. So when we started off in 2014, we were not incubated by anybody, and we had to struggle a lot because there were very few, investors who would give us or give us fund. We had projects in hand. We are in fact the first company in India to set up a UAV lab anywhere in the world, in India. So DIET, that is under Defense Institute of Technology, under DRDO. So they had this project wherein they wanted to set up a UAV lab, and we alone qualified. We alone qualified to set up that lab, but we did not have the money for that. So we had to run here and there, and and then at that point of time, IIM Calcutta Innovation Park came to our rescue. So they gave us the fund that was necessary for, the selfing of that particular solution to DRDO. So IIM Calcutta came into picture in this particular point of time. Calcutta Innovation Park. So we got some very good works to do with, even with Kolkata Municipality Park in corporation. We use our drone solutions to fight dengue. So that solution was started off in 2017, and we're still using that solution, and that's very helpful in fighting dengue in most of the slum areas of Kolkata, I would say. And based on performances, we have been featured in many. These are just some of the snippets, but we have been featured in lots of, news articles, newspapers, in online forums. These are some of the recognitions that we have because of the work that we have done with various different organizations. These are some of the recognitions. We're recognized by Startup India, and these are the other very prestigious institutions, I would say, who have given us good recognitions. These are some of the major clients, and because drone at one point of time in 2015 and 16, the laws and the rules for use of drone were very strict. Only defense could use this drone. So defense was our first, and till today defense is our most important client. And entering and venturing into defense has been a very challenging task, because not many solutions and many different kind of people are welcomed into the Indian defense. And as of today, we have sold more than 250 units of drones to the Indian Army alone, and they are using it for various different applications, and some of them are pretty confidential. So we have that, depth in the Indian defense system. And then again, it has not been a cakewalk, getting into the defense system, like I mentioned. And still today, there are people who are trying to get into this particular industry. But then again, the limitations are very much more. So yes, it has been a challenge. And then again, once defense opened up, we use those references to enter into other defense organizations like DRDO. And then again, we have also served West Bengal police with our solutions, apart from this corporate industries like JSW, L&T. So these are some of the clientele of us. So like I mentioned, DIET and the DRDO Pune is the first organization to have a UAV lab, and we have been appreciated by many people. Although this letter is not there, but we got an appreciation from defense minister also in this regard. And that lab is right now being used for developing various drone solutions under DRDO. So these are some of the solutions that we have developed so far. Like I mentioned, it's very important to remain focused in what you want to do. I mean, different industries are there. We have focused only on a few industries. One of them is defense, like I mentioned. And then we have also ventured into certain service providing industries. For example, mining industry, wherein they have requirement for applications like mapping and volumetric, which give them a very accurate and very fast solution. For example, in the mining industry and the coal industry, there are huge piles of coals, and to manually measure those things is a humongous task. Even to just measure one dump of one stockyard of a coal field, it might take them more than 3 to 4 days. Using a drone solution that we have developed, and the kind of softwares that we have with us right now, that particular area could be mapped, and the volumetric analysis can be done within a couple of hours. So that is the level of accuracy that we have got in our systems. And again, the other solution that we have ventured into is into oil and natural gas industries. Again, various problems were being faced initially by these oil and gas industries, because the pipelines used to pass through different various locations which were inaccessible to humans. So normal that happen in if somebody has visited any oil company, they know that oil theft, then this kind of problems are there. So it's very difficult for manual inspection. So we deployed solutions, using unmanned vehicles, using drones, and that has been helping them a lot in controlling these miscreant activities. Again, like I mentioned, we have also catered to certain corporate industries. So they, again, the problems basically remain the same. They want surveillance to be done in particular industry, in the periphery, so and inside the plant as well. And also these drones are also being used for structural analysis and normal inspection and monitoring of these particular structures, which otherwise would take a lot of time if manual, if it's done manually. Again, the last solution, this is the last solution that we have been catering to. This is a solution that we have developed in the last in the last year itself, where we have made ready solutions for windmill and power industry. So again, using this solution, the human cost, the human labor cost and time consumption is reduced significantly, because if we need to do an inspection of a single windmill or a single tower, then it takes normally 7 to 8 persons, and the duration is 2 to 3 days. Now we have brought down that completely, around 3 to 4 hours of inspection and 2 to 3 hours of post-processing activities, which gave them a complete report, analysis report of what condition that particular tower is at right now. What is the welding strength of that particular joint, and how long that joint is going to hold in that particular environmental conditions. So those are the kind of solutions that we have developed so far using the solution. This in brief was of what we have been doing right now using our drone solutions. Just a minute.
for your success, your struggle. I think it will definitely inspire our students to look for some innovations in their field as well. Now, I think we have Prantik Sinha, Mr. Prantik Sinha with us. I think he has joined. So I would request Mr. Prantik Sinha, founder of Agastya Buoyant Private Limited, to deliver his talk. Sir, over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Good evening,
sir,
everybody.
please introduce yourself before you move.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I am Prantik Sinha. I am the alumnus of IIST Shibpur, and I'm very much honored and feeling great, student, and I am having a huge nostalgic moment right now, seeing Dr. Shubhashish Bhomik in front of me. He has been my guide throughout my MTech journey, and I also able to see Konika ma'am out there. She has told they have been our guide when we started this journey of Agastya Point. They knew the whole journey, how we started, and all these things. So it's a great moment again to come back to my college after 5 years. So let's start. So I'm now presenting my about our startups and how we started all the things. You can all see the slides, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So our name of the company is Agastya Point, and it is named after the great Rishi Agastya. He was the one who first stated that water can be broken down into oxygen and hydrogen, and the hydrogen gas can be trapped in an airtight cloth, which can be flown into the air, or it can act as a balloon. So our main concept was actually making balloons or inflatables. So we named our company by honoring that Rishi's name, Agastya. So a little brief about us. So we are expertise in technical textiles. We have the state of the art facility in welding technology of technical textiles. We are a bunch of young technocrats and team working in inflatable technology, buoyancy technology, and other multidisciplinary technologies. So we were born in 2015. We have been incubated in IIM Calcutta Innovation Park and registered under startup and funded by the IIT Calcutta. So we started our flagship projects, like we were the first company to introduce trash booms in the National Mission for Clean Ganga in the 12 cities in 2016. We have installed trash booms in canals leading to the Yamuna River in Delhi and NCR, have also installed trash booms in 19 canals in Mumbai leading to Arabian Sea, and installed trash booms in many lakes of Bangalore. It was the flagship projects that we did in the year 2016 and 17. So exactly what we do. So we do many kind of things. We always focus on working in social impact projects that can impact social lives. We work in those projects where we can do something for the environment. So first project that we do is clean water bodies, as I said. We are the manufacturer of trash booms for lake, canals, rivers, seas, and dams. We manufacture oil spill booms and flexible oil containment products. We also have we also do cleaning of rivers and bioremediation in canals and lakes in a startup consortium models. So we I know like we work with many startups, we collaborate with many startups and do one projects. So we are now into biogas also. We manufacture flexible and portable biogas balloons of for domestical purpose, and also make standalone hemispherical balloons for industrial purpose. This project, it was our master's project, this manufacturing of helium-filled remote control blimp. Then we also do this tank-based aquaculture, manufacturing of flexible and collapsible fish tanks. We provide one-point solution to the tank-based aquaculture like Biofloc and RAS. We are also into disaster management, flood barrier, manufacturing of water-filled flexible barrier. So meet our team. So our core team, we have, I have introduced myself already, Prantik Sinha. I have done my master's from IIST Shibpur. Uh, Second, we have another shining star, Mr. Surjit Kumar, masters. He's from again from IIST Shibpur. He has an expert in mechatronics and robotics and has over 5 years of experience in oil spill response equipment manufacturing. And we have with us Mr. Anil Jhavar. He has a 30 years experience in technical textiles. So our portfolio. So you can see here now. I just want to share some pictures, but before that, as we here for give some motivational talks, I just want to say that don't ever think that starting a company is very easy, because uh, nothing in this world is very easy. We all know that doing entrepreneurship, doing a startup is a very like a very grandeur job, or a grandeur profession where people have Mercedes and go into offices with coats, tie. They have they work in a very good environment. It's not like that. It's not like it's like riding on a lion. People will think that you are very brave, but you think that why the hell I did ride on a lion, and I have always the fear that when the lion will eat me up. And these kind of things always go with the startups, and the life of the startup is not very easy, or a startup entrepreneur is also not very easy. Believe me that all the four entrepreneurs, those who are speaking today, I know three of them, and I have been working with them, and I know each of them personally, three of them rather. Ajipan, Drone Tech Labs, and myself, we have gone through the extreme and the extreme saddest moments of our life, and where you feel that nobody is there with you, and when you go to sleep, you just in the next morning you don't know that from where your orders will come, your revenue generation will happen, and you don't have any idea. And so like, but I would always say for an entrepreneur that when you want to do something in your life, you have any idea, and that can be business, and that can give business to you, can have a business, good business model. Take two things in your hand: a bag full of uh, money, and a bag full of your patience. And I better say that within 1 year or 6 months, your money, you will consume your money, and you will not have any money with you. But if your patience is over, then you are gone. The main thing for a startup entrepreneur to have is not money, it is the patience and a vision. If you have a patience and a vision, then nobody can stop you. Many big companies will come, they will beat you, and all these things will happen, but you are the entrepreneur. You know your baby, you know how your baby has was born, and you know where you can take your baby to. So I will continue my journey, but before that I just wanted to share this knowledge, which I failed. I have failed many times in my life. I have failed, my team has failed many times, but like those failures were the pillar of success. Like uh, by failing, I have launched 10 products. We have launched 10 products, but only 3 or 4 products have succeeded in the market. But those failures, we were able to analyze where our faults were, and those failures were really really helped us to make this third product or the fifth product that succeeded in the market. So you can see that we have been working in pan India, in Mumbai, this Illa pumping station, this Triveni Ghat, Haridwar, and many places we have worked on restricting the floating trashes all over India. Here is a brief pictures where you can see the orange color biogas balloons. Then we have this blue color fish tanks, where farmers can farm their fishes on land only. They don't have to dig ponds or waste water every time. This is a zero water discharge model. You don't have to discharge water after every harvesting of fish. uh, in the right side, you have a kitostat. This kitostat, it's a very new concept, where it's a combination of blimp or a combination of balloon with a kite, which is a more stable. Like we have drones. Drones is a flying object. It can be remotely controlled. Helicite is a third sensing object where you can, it can be tethered and can be, it's a very stable thing. In the down left side, we have this biogas balloon. Second, we have this flood barrier, and then we have this blimp. So, like when we started, we were getting many problems that in the biogas industries, I'm just sharing some problems from where these products have come up. See, in the biogas industry, you will see that there are big biogas plants or small biogas plants, but you don't have uh, any mode or any type of storage system to store those biogas plants or the biogas gas, because uh, the storing mechanism that are all present are very high costly. Maybe they are of FRP, maybe they are of steel or SS that can't be corroded. But this type of fabric that we have developed is, yeah, it's a biogas resistant fabric where the methane or the hydrogen sulfide or the ammonia doesn't corrode the fabric, and it has to be so cheap and it has to be portable too from one point to another. So we have developed this type of domestic biogas balloons so that we can install these biogas plants and can keep these storage balloons anywhere we feel like, on your on your backpack, on the hanging from the wall or something like that. We can save our spaces. So we have been doing this. We have been working with many startups across India for these biogas balloons. And here we have showing you again a milestone project of Agastya Point. Recently, before 1 month, we just installed our biggest biogas balloon uh, of ours. It is not in India, but we have installed our first biggest biogas balloon. It's 600 cubic meters in Surat. And like the hurdle that we came across in this 600 cubic meter balloon, because we have a very small factory. This 600 cubic meter space we don't have, but we took 2 months or 3 months to manufacture this. And it was during the COVID times, and where I was not getting enough of human labors. People were telling that uh, your company is at loss because this project had to be completed in 1 month, and whereas I'm taking it 6 months, because when the COVID-19 came up, and from the March it was locked down, and the client was asking me when will I get the balloon, but I had no answer. I said that I don't have enough. I couldn't say to him that I don't have enough space. But you have to fight with the client. You have to explain to your client. But it is not about only manufacturing things for a startup or doing a service. You have to be so diplomatic. You have to be so resilient with your dreams or something like that, though, such that you have to, like you can't say no to the client also, and you can't say directly yes to your client also. But you have to manage the things. You should know how to convince your clients that how problem you are facing, because client to nowadays client don't understand your problem. They just want to know that whether you are solving my problem or not. So that's the basic aim of a startup, to solve the problem the society is facing. So nobody cares about your problem, because if you want to share your problem to the clients, people won't bother about it, because your problem is your problem or your team's problem. Your team has to solve the problem and go ahead. But the one thing that I'm telling 100 times is be patient and be patient while starting a startup, because the idea generation can happen anytime, but patience is a inbuilt thing that comes from within. Innovation, technology can evolve with time, You probably before 5 years you thought of a product, but after 1 year you see that the market has so changed. Before your product has been manufactured, in the idea stage only, your product has changed. This happens a multiple number of times. So technology innovation changes uh, and has evolved time to time, but your patience. So that time, if you had thought, okay, I thought of that idea, and something, and someone from Israel have started working in that idea, and if you fail that time, you can never come back. But if you feel that, okay, why, if Israel can make, why India can't make, then only you have already stepped a foot forward. Now we are doing aquaponics, like we are doing vertical farming across India. We are cultivating fish below, and with that water rich nutrients, we are doing this type of plantations like lettuce, strawberries, dragon fruit, and many such, like exotic fruits and vegetables in the urban also, but in the also rural, we can do paddy even with these aquaponics technologies. It's a very low cost technology, but the main USP of this is the control system. So yes, this type of projects we are doing where we can save water and can come out with a maximum number of yield per square meter of the field. This type of aquaculture we do, like we have installed many thousands of tanks, probably like 5,000 tanks we have crossed all over India, and we have 1,000 farmer base all over India. These are the bigger projects that we are doing in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and all these things. But like above all this, these projects to you guys seem that, wow, we are doing so much great things, but it's not always like that. There are hundreds sweats that are behind the story, behind the like I don't know if when we see a film that every time after the trailer they always show that the making of the film, right, where we see that the many bloopers that happens. But making a project successful, I know it's not my story, but all the four innovators story, or probably the whole startup community story, the sweat, the passion, the failures, nobody talks about. Today I know that motivating yourself, I am showing you the darker side of entrepreneurship, but no, I am just telling you that starting an entrepreneurial journey, you need passion, you need, because to an investor, if you go to an investor to an investor, your your business, your company is like a product. He wants to know that I'm investing rupees 100, in how many days I will get rupees 200. But to you, your company is a baby, it's not a product. Don't feel that investor should love your company. Investor doesn't love your company. He has no willingness to like to sleep with your company, but you are the one who will dream and sleep with your company, that how will I grow my company. So don't be disheartened if you are like you are not selected in a competition, you are not selected by any investor, because investor knows you only for that 5 minutes you pitch, but that long journey you have done for the 5 years or the 3 years, nobody can understand your journey in 3 minutes of pitch time. So I would always suggest that do your work, change your business model. You will get to learn many things from your investors when they say that, when they suggest you what to do that, to do those. So change your business model time to time, review your business model time to time. So with the help of from the starting, we have this I am Calcutta Innovation Park. We were also incubated in IST Shibpur incubation. We had graduated and then came into I am Calcutta Innovation Park. We have been supported by TIE Factory from GIZ, and then we have also allotted a fund from Global Innovation and Technologies. We received this fund from Gita, and we have been supported by DST also. So thank you. And last of all, I would again say that when you are a entrepreneur, you should you and should mix with people. That the more you mix with people, the more contacts you get, and the more contacts you get, the more business you get. This is the probably one of the Bible rules of the Bible of entrepreneur. And just concluding, I would just like to say one sentence, that when you don't have any money or any currency, use the currency of relationship. That really works when you don't have money, because relationship only helps you to grow big. Because suppose two startups can collaborate to make a product, whereas if you have thought that, okay, I will hire this person and I will give him to 20,000 rupees, probably that startup won't have that money to pay for that talent. But if two startups can collaborate, if two people can join and think that, okay, we have to make this product, we can do this. For acquiring talent you don't need money, for giving talent you don't need money. But if you can dream that, okay, when this product will give money to us, we can have this share of the profit. Or we should all learn to share a piece of cake for a bigger cake. Like don't try to make small cakes, right? Okay, don't think that you are the only one in this whole world. Try to collaborate and try to make a bigger cake and have a share of profit from that bigger cake, not from a whole cake. And like, you know, like taking a drop of water from a well and take a drop of water from a sea is a huge difference. So try to collaborate, don't try to compete with everybody in your life. Try to collaborate in your life and try to make a bigger cake and have a piece of it. You will enjoy much more. So that's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha, for your story. Um, yes, you have rightly said that we should not despair even in the face of all the hurdles that might come up when you are going for startups. I hope that your talk had motivated our students attending today. Uh, Thank you once again. Now, I would request our next speaker, Mr. Kolan Kole, founder of Egipan Animal Biocare Private Limited, to kindly deliver his talk. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. I'm presenting my slides. Good evening, everyone. ये स्लाइड्स नजर आ रहा है सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Excuse me. Okay, thank you. This is my name is Kulna Kole, and I am founder of Egipan Animal Biocare Private Limited, and our company brand is Egipan. And our company incubated in Pusakisi Incubator and also in IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. Our company milestone actually हमने हिंदी में बोलने को ज़्यादा पसंद करूँगा और बंगाली प्रेफर करूँगा. तो 2012 से हमारा कंपनी का वेंचर स्टार्ट हुआ था. फर्स्ट हमने एक सब्जेक्ट को चुना था कि ब्लैक बंगाल गोट के ऊपर काम करना है, क्योंकि मैं जूलॉजी बैकग्राउंड से हूँ और इसीलिए मैंने एनिमल के ऊपर ज़्यादा प्रेफरेंस था काम करने के लिए. तो 2012 में हम लोग
Network problem.
মিটিং লিভ করে যাচ্ছে। আমাদের নেটওয়ার্ক নাকি না ওরা
Will the next person speak?
Let's wait for 2 minutes. I think you will join again. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Students, please bear with us. I think our speaker has some network issue. Let's wait for a minute or two.
একটা ছাত্রকে হাত তুলেছে, ঠিক আছে? আপনি দেখতে পাচ্ছেন?
আচ্ছা
ওই এটা ঠিক আছে। এই পিপলের আমরা এখানে একটা ছেলে হাত তুলেছে। সমস্যা আছে।
মনে প্রায়
Sir, আমরা কি shall we move on to our next speaker? নাকি?
I think we can go to the next speaker.
Okay. Sorry for the network issue. I think we can move on to our next speaker, Mr. Shuruchi Gagan, who is the co-founder of Technesia Automation Private Limited. Sir, over to you. Mr. Gagan, over to you. No, sir, you're audible but not visible.
Just a second.
ছাত্র মনে হচ্ছে না যে হ্যান্ড রেজ করেছে।
হ্যাঁ,
I think there's a network issue. Just bear with me for a second. Yeah, I think I'm visible.
Yes, now you're visible.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Suruchi Gagan, co-founder, director, and CEO of Technesia Automation Private Limited. And I think I'm not lagging now. Am I?
A bit, but you are audible. The video is not moving along with your audio, but
Okay. 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 Then
but we
let's,
can manage. Continue.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'd like to thank IIC-IIEST and IMCIP for bringing me here and allowing me to explain my story, or rather tell my story to new entrepreneurs, going to be entrepreneurs, or even, or first of all, engineers, which I'm also. So for the next 15-20 minutes, I'll be sharing my story with you, my company's story with you. And the first thing which I'll tell you is I am the youngest here. So I'm a 2019 BTech graduate from Institute of Engineering and Management here in Kolkata. And I started my company during my 4th year, 8th semester. So most of us here will be easily correlating with me because I'm the newest and has the least experience of all the speakers who have been here before. So I'll start with my PPT here. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
No,
If anyone can alternate if my screen is visible or not. My screen is
it's
not
still
visible.
not.
Yes, it is coming.
No, it's visible.
It is visible. So there is a lot of network conditions here. So okay. So I'll start by introducing myself, and I'll be talking less about my company. For now, I just want to more concentrate the motive of this meeting basically, which is what is the thought process of an entrepreneur, or what do I say? Means in your career also, if you want to achieve something, what difficulties or what deviations do you face and how do you overcome them. So this talk which I'll be doing will be more concentrated towards that, and parallelly I'll be aligning it with my story, with my company story, so that you also can relate how things I've learned and I have implemented and still learning and trying to implement, which some of us can actually adopt and then can take forward. So as I said, I'm a BTech graduate, 2019 pass out, very early in the startup ecosystem. Some might say so, but I don't think so. But from starting, I was a passionate learner from my college life. I was a good student, like all of us who are present here on screen. And I was intended towards technology, towards hardware, towards software. And this actually gave me, this was my passion. So I decided to take this as my career. So I joined engineering, and that was completely my decision to do that. And I thought to achieve my passion, it will be the best way to go forward. But once I joined, I can see whatever I wanted was missing from the ecosystem. So our education is a little bit backwards, and whatever we are taught may not get us where we want to. Basically, it was not fulfilling the path to my dream. So I took up uh, doing projects. So I was intended towards IoT. I was introduced to it in my first year, and I took up, started doing projects on my own with my team, and I was completely an introvert, sitting on the first bench, trying to learn every subject what is being taught, even if the teacher is not that great. And then this came as a passion. So the best thing about passion is it finds you. You do not need to find it. So someone is passionate about music, someone is passionate about dance, someone is passionate about comedy. So this is the passion which is developed, and the passion finds you. You are intended towards it. And same thing happened with me. I was intended towards it. And now one of the saying which I remember from my parents that they had always said is, you can achieve everything, anything you want. So this is a very big statement, and we as a student or we as individuals don't think to realize much upon this. We don't ponder upon this point, but I believed a little bit, like if we try to do something, at least the maximum what will happen is I'll either succeed or either learn. I'll never fail. So this passion against the electronics and technology made me to do around 20 projects during my first year of our college. So I was doing IoT projects for myself, my college projects for few startups. So I joined startups during my second year, started joining as an intern, and then working for a few startups from my second year itself. And from there, this passionate grew on me. And obviously, I paid attention to self-improvement every time. So I wanted to improve because I was an introvert. I was not able to speak anything, and I wanted to learn this skill. And there were various methodologies during college life which I adopted to learn these things, like leading a group, joining events, parallelly maintaining my academics. So I devoted my complete 4 years of my college towards self-development, towards my development of passion. And then uh, from from that, excuse me, uh, yeah, um, just a second. Yeah. This is my passion started basically. So first we were doing some projects, then I come from a branch of information technology. So basically, I was not into electronics at all, IoT at all. I was more on the software side, but my passion drew me towards it. I started doing it, developing it. I found few friends, I found few colleagues in the startups who helped me develop this passion, made it more understandable to me. And then I worked on developing innovative technologies a little bit. So You can see a cycle on the third image. You can see this is one of the PCBs which are companies producing currently. So we have been able to make chips which are PCs and ICs and sensors which send your credit card itself. So this passion actually turned into Technicia Automation Private Limited. So we are a company inaugurated in March 2019, and from there our journey has been quite wonderful. A lot of learning to us. We are currently by DIPP, MSME, and Startup India government initiatives, and currently incubated and supported by and funded by IMCIP, NASCOM 10K, and BIA, Bihar Industries Association. So going on to our passion. So once we started, there were I got a co-founder from one of the startups previously which I was working on. Is my presentation not working? Is my presentation not working?
Slide is coming. Same slide is coming. The same slide is coming.
The first slide.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'll just.
You continue.
I'll share my screen. I will share my complete screen then. Okay. So basically, we started developing products once we started our company, and ours was basically into energy management sector for commercial spaces. So what I saw a gap in the market was we had automation devices for smaller infrastructures, but for bigger infrastructures with larger current distributions and much more greater load and size, which is exponentially greater than small infrastructures. There were no particular solutions which was so vibrant that it can easily fit and be deployed in the market. So we started developing it. And now the problem is we were running out of money. So I had saved up a little bit from my works in the startup, and my co-founder who is Mr. Subhan Sinha was from a startup. From there our minds combined, and we started working towards this company. So we were struggling to find the proper funds, the proper just a second. I can see a lag here. I'll again just fix it. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. Now I think it will be good. Yeah. Yeah. My slides will be visible now, I guess.
Not yet.
No, sir,
Not yet. Now it is visible. Eh?
No.
I heard someone saying that. I don't know what. Okay, I'll continue anyway. So after this, we were struggling to develop. Our development cost was too huge for us starting, and our experience was very less. We needed a greater
The slide
team.
has come. The slide has come. You can now continue. The slide has come.
Okay, thank you so much. So basically, once we had a bit of product, we started going out in the market, selling it, deploying it, finding customers. All of these things cannot be taught to anyone. So once we say how we achieve this, how do you define a path to achieve anything, it's basically just one thing, which is you need to set your vision. Once you set your vision and you try to do things to get to that vision, you fail multiple times. Just one thing you need to know is you fail multiple times, but don't commit the same mistake again and again. and that will actually form the path to your vision. So you'll be doing multiple wrongs and then one right, which will be moving you one step ahead. And then this one step will be taking you to your vision. And so we did like that. We started developing, manufacturing, deploying. We got errors, we got complaints. Our product was not working at some time, was illusional. Our proprietary patent pending algorithm was generating problem at some times. We overcome that slowly. And this passion actually made an introvert represent his company into multiple countries altogether. So I found myself speaking about my company in Singapore, in Nepal, and doing projects, bigger projects there. So we were able to take up projects of automation of biggest mall in Nepal, which is the Chaya Center, and as such, and as you can see in the image, we have our co-founder in one of the first image, which is Mr. Subhan Sinha. He is my lifeline now, and he's the most important part which we can have in our company now. So, and this actually went into getting deployment. So we started deploying our product into multiple spaces. We started designing products according to customer demands, and I had a dream to bring manufacturing to India. So basically, what we are lacking in here is we are not able to manufacture devices here in India. We are not able to manufacture the most prudent thing which we carry in our hands and which we interact is the hardwares. So we delve down into making hardwares for us, for here in India, for solving problems for bigger infrastructures, for buildings, for hospitals, for malls, etc., which were devoid, which the infrastructures were previously importing from other countries. Now, this is a very difficult task to do, and but we saw some success, a little bit of success there, and in December 2019, we were able to get good projects thereon, which were there were a few in Kolkata, Delhi, and then in Singapore, and then in Nepal. We were exporting products then. And this led to us being publicized in few of the what do I say, basically we were there on the pages of few publications, and in Feb 2020 we were one of the best startups in Eastern India, company Eastern India, and this is one of the biggest achievement we have had till now. And we were standing on the stage of one of the biggest competitions, Tycon, where there were more than 1,000 startups from all over India, and we were the top 6 startups, and we were committed funds. We raised funds from there on stage itself. So this was a very big moment, and we were seeing that our motivation and our work toward passion is now. This is not just the life of entrepreneur. Life of entrepreneur is this, basically. Then comes COVID. Now our projects require going around to their to the premises, to the infrastructures for installations, product exports, imports. All of these were involved in our company. And then this COVID for us as a new starters came as a breakdown. So we were unable to do exports. We were unable to transport manpower from here to any of the locations there, and we were forced to sit at our homes. And this bring us to this brought us a lot of difficulties than there. Now, one thing which an entrepreneur or even any one of us which we need to follow in our career is to never give up. And one thought I never forgot was that I'll succeed not immediately, but definitely. And this thought kept us moving. So the 6 months which we sitting at our home, our team was sitting distributed all around the states at their home. Now we started working remotely on different services. We started doing some odd jobs to get in revenue so that I can pay my employees, keep my team moving, keep them motivated. So we did some sort of stuff, and we did services, we did designing for few big manufacturers, few big companies, for even small startups. We were just providing services during that, and the product flow was broken. Now the the aim the aim was to not give up, to just follow our dream. And this again, when everything, the lockdown was over, we were up straight. The in During lockdown, we were able to do services, and we were able to hire more people during that. We were able to increase our team during COVID itself. So this is one thing: if you don't lose hope, then success and profits will actually find you. You just need to be patient, you just need to be obedient to your dream, and you don't have to deviate. So basically it is the same thing. Like in a race, we have a ribbon at the end. Basically that is your vision. Without that vision, it will become extremely difficult for you to not deviate. So you just need to fix it. You just need to fix your passion, you need to fix your dream, and then it will be very easy for you to follow that. And as I said, as you need to build a wall, so you don't build the wall in a single day. So you just deploy one brick at a time, and you do it in the best possible way, so that you don't need to concentrate on the ultimate dream. You just take it step by step. You deploy one brick, and you do it with your 100% obediency, 100% proficiency, and then you do that next brick, and then you do the next brick, and be patient until the wall is built. And the wall will be like none other and none less, and you will have a very robust actual achievement. So this is how we actually survived here, and we are still growing. We were able to cater new projects currently in the last 3 months, and we are seeing future scopes. We are into development, we are into innovation, we are trying to actually achieve our dream through our passion, through our hard work. So, and lastly, I'll just end by saying that this thing we need to develop, or just need to remind ourselves every time, in whatever way, whatever thing we do, either be it your job, either be it your business, anything you do, that you will obviously succeed. You may not do it immediately, but you'll surely do it if you are against it. Means you just don't need to lose track. You just keep yourself towards it, and you will be surely succeeding. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Gagan, for sharing your story with us, and also how you have coped with the difficulties even in the face of the pandemic. Now I'd request Mr. Kollan Kole, founder of Egipan Animal Biocare Private Limited, who has rejoined, to kindly share his story with us. So, Mr. Kole, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, Kalyan is coming. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, once again. I'm audible?
Yes,
Hello.
audible.
Yes,
Okay. तो मैं फिर से स्टार्ट करूंगा कि हमारे कंपनी एजिपेन एनिमल बायोकेयर प्राइवेट लिमिटेड एंड आवर कंपनी इनक्यूबेटेड इन IIM Calcutta इनोवेशन पार्क एंड आल्सो पुसाकिसी इनक्यूबेटर. हमारे कंपनी एक्चुअली ब्लैक बंगाल गोट के ऊपर काम करते हैं. ब्लैक बंगाल गोट एक वर्ल्ड फेमस ब्रीड है जो ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया में अवेलेबल है, लेकिन हमारे फार्मर के अवेयरनेस के वजह से ये ब्रीड थोड़ा क्रॉसब्रीडाइजेशन के कारण से अपने जो आइडेंटिटी है वो खो रहा है. तो हम लोग 2012 से इसके ऊपर जानकारी आइडेंटिफाई किया और इस ब्रीड के ऊपर काम करना स्टार्ट किया. फर्स्ट हमने जो एक नॉर्मल ब्लैक बंगाल गोट फार्म स्टार्ट किया था, तो उसी टाइम हमने एक पेन पॉइंट्स को आइडेंटिफाई किया था कि हमारे रूरल जो गोट फार्मर्स है उन्होंने जो बकरी पालते हैं उनके पास एक ब्रीडेबल जो मेल गोट होता है वो अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है। तो फर्स्ट डेट से हमने देखता था कि रूरल जो गोट फार्मर से अपने फीमेल को लेके हमारे फार्म पे आते थे और अपने जो दिक्कत है वो शेयर करते थे। इसी टाइम हमने नेशनल डेयरी रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट कल्याणी में जो है उनके साथ ये जो पेन पॉइंट्स है शेयर किया और फर्स्ट टाइम हमने आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन इन गोट के ऊपर काम स्टार्ट किया उसी इंस्टीट्यूशन के साथ। 2-3 साल हमने फील्ड लेवल पे इसके ऊपर ट्रायल दिया और 2-3 साल के अंदर हमने सक्सेसफुली फ्रोजन सीमेन ऑफ ब्लैक बंगाल गोट को लॉन्च किया। तो हमने जो पेन पॉइंट्स को उसी टाइम आइडेंटिफाई किया था, ये सिर्फ ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया के पेन पॉइंट्स नहीं है, ये सारे इंडिया का पेन पॉइंट्स है। अरे इंडिया में जितने सारे अच्छे गोट ब्रीड है उन्होंने सिर्फ क्रॉसब्रीडाइजेशन के कारण से अपना आइडेंटिटी खो रहा है। तो इसीलिए आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन एक द ओनली टेक्नोलॉजी जो गोट को इम्प्रूव कर सकता है और हमारे जो इंडिया का और ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया का जो मीट का रिक्वायरमेंट है वो मीट का जो क्वांटिटी रिक्वायरमेंट है उनकी इम्प्रूव एक ही टेक्नोलॉजी कर सकते हो, आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन। तो हमने 2012 से 2018 तक ऐसे टेक्नोलॉजी को सिर्फ बंगाल में नहीं, अभी हम झारखंड में काम कर रहे हैं। झारखंड में टाटा राजसिनी के साथ ये टेक्नोलॉजी को इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं। फिर छत्तीसगढ़ में, बिहार में, उड़ीसा एंड आसाम में हम लोग हमारे जो टेक्नोलॉजी है उनको वहाँ पर प्रोवाइड किया है। और इसके साथ साथ हमने और भी किया कि रूरल गांव में रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन किया है कि हमारा जो टेक्नोलॉजी है इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए एक अच्छे मीडियम का बहुत जरूरी था। तो इस मीडियम को सिलेक्ट किया हमने कि गांव का जो अनएम्प्लॉयड यूथ है जो एनिमल हस्बेंड्री के ऊपर काम करना चाहते हैं, पैशनेट है, हम उसको पहले ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड किया और ट्रेनिंग देने के बाद उसको ऐसे एबिलिटी प्रोवाइड किया है कि उन्होंने मंथली 5,000 to 10,000 रुपीज कमा सकते हैं। और इनके साथ साथ हमने और भी फोकस किया कि गोट का जो आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन टेक्नोलॉजी है इनके थ्रू हम गांव में वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को ज़्यादा क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि ये भी एक स्टडी करके हमने देखा कि गांव में जितने सारे बकरी गोट फार्मर है गोट का फार्मिंग करते हैं वो मैक्सिमम वुमेन है, 80% वुमेन है। तो अगर हमारा आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट और जो पैरामेडिकल सपोर्ट देने वाला काम अगर हम वुमेन के थ्रू गांव में अप्लाई करें तो एक बॉन्डिंग अच्छा होता है कि एक हेजिटेशन दूर हो जाता है। और सबसे अच्छा है कि आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन इन गोट जो टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत इजी एक टेक्नोलॉजी है जो वुमेन के लिए बहुत आसानी से वो सीख सकते हैं और इस पर अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। तो ऐसे हम बंगाल में, झारखंड में ऐसे लगातार कोशिश में रहते हैं कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर को हमको माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योर में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं कि इनके लिए ज़्यादा उनको इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करना पड़ता है कि जस्ट 10 to 15,000 इन्वेस्ट करके वो लोग मंथली 5,000 to 10,000 रुपीज़ आसानी से काम कर सकते हैं। तो ऐसे अभी तक हम लोग मोर देन 300 वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर क्रिएट किया है पूरा ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया में। और मोर देन 3,000 मेन माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योर क्रिएट किया है जो आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन और गोट के ऊपर पैरामेडिकल काम करके मंथली 10,000 के आसपास कमा रहे हैं। इसके साथ साथ हम लोग मोर देन 2 लाख गोट फार्मर के पास पहुंच चुके हैं हमारे टेक्नोलॉजी लेकर। हमने सिर्फ उसको सपोर्ट रूरल गोट फार्मर्स को दे रहे हैं कि आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन करने के बाद गोट फार्मर का अभी एक प्रॉब्लम है कि गोट मार्केटिंग करने के लिए एक अच्छे प्लेटफॉर्म अभी तक नहीं है रूरल गोट फार्मर्स के लिए। तो हम लोग वही कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनको एक प्लेटफॉर्म दे रहे हैं जहाँ पर अच्छे प्राइस में वो अपने आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन करने के बाद जो गोट का बच्चा पैदा होगा उनको हम अच्छे प्राइस से खरीद लेने के बाद हम लोग भी गवर्नमेंट के साथ टाइप कर रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट के स्लॉटर हाउस में वो गोट को मार्केटिंग कर सके। इसीलिए हमारे बंगाल गवर्नमेंट का जो हरिनघाटा में स्लॉटर हाउस है उनके साथ एक टाई अप किया है और इसके थ्रू हमारे रूरल गोट फार्मर्स को काफ़ी सारे मदद मिल रहे हैं कि पहले से उनका जो एवरेज इनकम था उनसे 25 to 30% ज़्यादा इनकम मिल रहा है, अच्छा पैसा मिल रहा है। क्योंकि उनका जो इससे पहले जो गोट मार्केट था बहुत अनसिक्योर था, लोकल ब्रोकर्स के थ्रू बहुत ही छोटे थे। तो ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हम सॉल्व करने के लिए और इसके साथ साथ हम ये भी फोकस कर रहे हैं कि गोट का जो मोर्टालिटी है 5-10 साल पहले मोर्टालिटी बहुत ज़्यादा था ईस्टर्न पार्ट में है। क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट का जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर था वो काफी नहीं था, तो अब अभी हम लोग एक लोकल ऐसे देख रहे हैं नेक्स्ट 10 इयर्स और 15 इयर्स के अंदर हमारे बंगाल का जो मीट इंडस्ट्री है वो उसको चेंज कर सकेंगे। हमारी कंपनी एक लॉन्ग विजन लेके चल रहे हैं। हाँ, आई एम ऑडिबल। हेलो
Yes, sir.
Yes,
हेलो
yes, sir, you're audible.
Students, please wait for some time. I think he is facing some network issue again. Um, Konika Di, Shubhashish sir, shall we move on to the interactive session then? I think he has some network issue.
I think
Yeah, I think we should go to the interactive session right now.
yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think,
So you can
Okay,
start
let's
with the
start. Yes,
interaction
sure.
session.
okay.
I think he has started. Okay, so yeah.
I think it is better we can start with the interaction session.
As I think Mr. Kole has joined again, so he
Okay.
can continue. He can continue. Sir, please continue.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू थैंक यू। बहुत नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम है इसीलिए प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। तो मैंने यही बोलने का कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी इतना आसान नहीं है। पहले एक अच्छे सब्जेक्ट को चुनना बहुत जरूरी होता है जिनका पोटेंशियलिटी हो। अगर इसका अंदर पोटेंशियलिटी है तो वो सब्जेक्ट को चुनकर आप एक टाइम उसका अंदर दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि रिस्क लेना बहुत जरूरी होता है। कि हमारा बंगाली जो कल्चर होता है यहाँ पर ऐसे होता है कि एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के ऊपर ज़्यादा सपोर्ट नहीं दिया जाता है हमारे फैमिली की तरफ से। तो पहले इससे अंदर से निकलना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है। फिर अपनी जो ख्वाब है, अपने जो पैशन है और जो जो सब्जेक्ट हमने चुना है उसके जो पोटेंशियलिटी उसको देख के उसके अंदर डाइव देना है। तो मुझे लग रहा है अगर 2 से 3 साल हम लोग लगातार उसके साथ जुड़े रहेंगे और इस काम के ऊपर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जैसे पेशेंट कहते हैं अगर रहेंगे, तो मुझे लग रहा है 3 साल के बाद आपका जरूर सक्सेस मिलेगा। तो यही मेरा बोलने का मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, जैसे प्रांतिक और डिटेल्स ने पहले प्रेजेंटेशन में बोला है। तो थैंक यू, यही मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ।
Thank you, sir. Despite the network problems, we could hear you. Now, I think we would open the house for an interactive session. We have all of 4 speakers with us. So, students, if you have any question for any speaker, you can ask him directly, but one by one. Is there anyone who would like to ask any question, share his views or her views?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I wanted to ask Devajit sir that you said it is very important to have a vision and a mission.
Yeah.
What was your vision when you just started up?
Was our vision. Vision was, like I mentioned initially, we have seen while visiting China, we have seen that, drones have, you know, catapulted that market, various markets, I would say, of China to various degrees of, to a different level altogether. So our vision was to, bring bring solutions, of that similar front to Indian markets, wherein tasks could be done at a much faster pace, and at much easier way of doing. For example, when I mentioned, we have been doing structural inspection using drones. Now, consider yourself, consider a person, climbing a windmill tower, for a height of up to 80 meters with the minimum safety gears. So consider from all the angles, consider his safety, consider the time being used for doing that particular inspection. Human risk is it should always be on the forefront. So we've been trying to eliminate that particular front using our solutions. So even if we say defense, if I give a classic example of defense, before in 2016 we introduced the drones, the micro category drones, the small drones that could fly inside a house, inside a house. So initially, how terrorists activate, I mean, they do their activities in those areas is, they take shelters in people's house. They take shelter in people's house, and they use those people of those residents of those houses as human shields. And they start firing, and the army guys, they will be helpless. They cannot fire, back, because there are people inside there, there are innocent people inside there. So we developed drones, that could actually go inside a house, that could do a recce, and it could give you a perfect idea of where actually the terrorist is hiding. Or using thermal imaging on the mounted on the drone, we would know like what kind of weapons that they would be carrying. So this was the impact that we wanted to bring, into different industries using a drone. So that was the vision. I cannot say it like which industry we try to focus, but across various industries we try to make a difference using drone as a solution. So that was our vision actually.
So that is customization of your
Yes.
technology. No?
Yeah.
That is it. Okay, boys and girls, please introduce yourself while you ask the question.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ankita Pramanik of IIST Shibpur. I have a question um, to um, to our speakers. Now we have like SIQUA. SIQUA is a VC or a funding agency who follow the policy of of completely destroying the rival. So, any advice to our youngsters over here how to keep their business floating in the face of these big sharks like Sequoia?
uh, if I may take this question, Pratikta.
Sure,
So,
thank you.
like ma'am mentioned, like Sequoia, I would not call them a big shark. They are, there are good and bad sides to both, investors as well as Prantikta mentioned already. You know, uh, it's your enterprise is your baby, so you have to safeguard it yourself. So we attend these kind of sessions, and a lot of things have been spoken, but the main thing that is not discussed basically is the mistakes that entrepreneurs tend to make while covering this journey variously. So before actually venturing into any entrepreneurial journey, or being opening up a startup or any kind of business, the first thing that has to be done is a good market study. Whether I understand an idea, if I have an idea, and I know that is something for me, I want that to be respected by other people also. But then again, I have to be unbiased. I have to see what kind of a market scenario that my product is going to have commercially, whether it's commercially viable or not. So this thing has to be done first thing. Second thing, we tend to be carried away, carried away by emotion. We make decisions, some decisions are being made based on emotions. So that has to be that has to be taken care of if you are thinking of venturing into that kind of a field. And again, another thing is, that we have faced questions from investors, that you are from this particular domain, you're from an engineering background, you're not having anybody from the accounts department or from the finance department in this particular meeting with us. How do you tend to take this question from us? So it's very important to acknowledge this thing, that you do not know everything. It is okay, it is absolutely okay to take help from people. It's absolutely okay to ask somebody. So that is the reason why there are mentors appointed by various incubation centers, so that you do not goof up, so that the things that you do not know are being taken care of by people from the advisors. So I understand that. I know I got a bit offshoot from the question that you asked, but ma'am, this particular question, that these are big sharks, and they could harm you more than do good. I think that is not actually justified, because there are various good things that comes from investors also. And although we are not directly benefited from Sequoia, but I know people who have benefited tremendously from investors like Sequoia.
People who
And
are
also,
benefited, it's good for them,
yes.
but for the rival, it's
Uh,
really tough.
so,
That's what I believe.
so
I'll also add, I'll try to add to that point, ma'am. Basically, this is uh, this is true for any business, not even for entrepreneurs. Any business, it is equally the same. Like even if you have a shop, a parallel shop opens just besides you, then it will be obviously affecting your revenues. But it is totally on how you handle that shop. So if you make loyal customers, you prove yourself vibrant in the market, that yes, customers believe in you. So you will obviously be losing on some customers, some revenues due to a competitor next to you, but you will be certainly holding your market share. So as entrepreneurs, what we are suggested is you need to develop customers and at a very fast rate and maintain those customers. So at least when a very big player actually comes and tries to overtake that market, you are amongst those whom he needs to consider at that very moment. So you should not be thrown out of the market. So basically, what we need is we need to develop at a faster pace, and this is basically a challenge for a startup. So at initials, we don't have that support, that funding, everything is considered there. But the thing is, ultimately, you need to have good customers who believe in you. So and then you'll be having some amount of trust with them, and then actually once a bigger player comes, he cannot ignore you, he'll have to undertake you. So this is how acquiring basically works in the startup world. So when you have taken a certain bit of market share of certain proposition or certain business, the bigger business tends to acquire you. So it is totally on your determination. You don't need to lose hope, because there will be always players. There will be always parallel players, parallel people in the businesses. And if you are afraid of that, then you will never be able to do businesses, because you cannot stand alone in this big world with this many population. So this is my
so,
thinking over that.
so Ankita ma'am, I just want to add finally that see, it is not about Sequoia or any other investors. This problem happens in the startup world or any business every day of our life. I'm telling you that when we started our journey, we had to invest to our investors every week or every month. And like an investor hears about 12 or 13 ideas every day. Okay, and we all fear that we have shared one idea, and next day probably he goes to a manufacturer. Suppose for my business, he goes to a manufacturer and says that, okay, this guy has this idea, this guy has this machines, and this guy has this fabric. So just manufacture what all these guys see. We also shared our presentations to our investors. Our presentations go, our PPT format goes to the presentations. They say that we want your presentations to see that how big is your company and all these things. So see, uh, stealing an idea is a very easy thing, but pursuing that idea because you are the best in that idea, you have the passion. Anybody can have a warehouse like me, anybody can have a machine, or anybody can have a fabric like me. But to assemble this and have that passion to constantly market for it and to create new revenue generation streams from a balloon, maybe that guy may not have. Now the thing is, probably we both suppose there are two sharks now. Like I myself, Agastya Point, and another company who is a manufacturer backed by Sequoia and also has a same passion like me. Now the difference will be the USP. If my business model can be easily copied, then I am not a startup, or maybe I don't have any USP or any unique selling proposal that if my idea is easily copyable or easily copied, then I don't have any value addition. Then probably I have to rework my business proposal. I have to rework my thinking, or I have to rework my technology further, such that these bigger giants can't kill me. So that's how this game of tug and war happens, ma'am, in the startup domain.
Thank you all.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. This is Gaurav Banerjee from Material Science and Technology, IIST Shibpur. Sir, my question to you is, sir, how much marketing knowledge do we require to essentially have in order to even think of a startup?
As much as possible, I would say.
So basically, this is a learning on the way process. Okay. So to start with, you don't know that you can be of a different genre. So and this may be possible that you might not be a robust person of marketing also. So that is where you create teams. When you see that yes, I'm not good at, because not everyone can be good at everything. So you need to be concentrated on your idea, and for that you need to find a reliable partners. That is why the scope of learning is always open for an entrepreneur. He has to learn everything from the basics of manufacturing to I'm talking about this genre assembly to working of systems, by working of microcontrollers, microprocessors, everything you need to know, and then you need to face customers also. So at starting, you need to be robust and should be that confident that you gain those initial customers. And when you have that enough belief in the market, then you tend to deploy experts in that field of marketing to do it. At initial stage, you just need to go with it, and you will be learning how to market with the help of mentors, with partners throughout the journey, through online materials. So this is a very hidden part of entrepreneurship, where you need to explore all of these genres secretly, and then you come with then you combine with people, collaborate with people, teams to deliver that particular market. So this is same for just not marketing. This is same for accounting also, and there are multiple more aspects to a business. So you will have to cope up with that, and you will have to have some knowledge at the initials, and then you have to keep learning and growing in that genre.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anyone else?
Sir, myself Devajyoti Bhattacharya. May I say something, ma'am,
Yes,
please?
carry on. Yes, carry on.
Sir, ma'am, my name is Devajyoti Bhattacharya. I am from Civil Department, IIST Shibpur. My question is, before getting investment, what we do in our ideas, startup ideas?
Okay, Devajit, can I speak about now?
Yeah, sure, Prantikta, sure.
Okay. So before investment, there are 3 or 4 steps that we have been taught by IIM Calcutta people. Okay, now what is your idea? You have to be very uh, you have to have a huge knowledge about your idea, and you have to be crisp about it, because when before going to investment or any investor, you have to pitch your idea within 2 minutes. Okay, so before that, you have to know your idea, what is your idea, and on on what idea you are working on. So first, you just point out your idea. Second, how big is your idea and how unique is your idea? Second point. Third point is third point is what is your market? What is your market? Who are your customers? You have to point out that. Who are your customers? Fourth point, how big is your market? What is your market? Who are your suppose your if you sell diamond, okay, then your customers will be the rich and the richest persons in this whole world. Now, when you are a startup, how can you reach those rich and the richest person? Probably you have to target Kolkata, then you have to go to West Bengal, then you have to go to Patna, then Bihar, then you have to slowly expand and cater to those people. Now, when you know about how big is your market, is your product scalable? That is the most important thing where an investor comes in. If your product is not scalable, because as I said, investor invests only in, means nowadays, I'm not saying all the investors, 90% of the investors invest in a scalable products. When is your product scalable? If your product is scalable, then start with one thing. Then motivate your parents to buy your product. You just sell your product to your parents because they are your own blood. If they are not convinced, then anybody in the whole world will not get convinced with your product, because they know you, they will buy the things from you. Motivate your parents, then go to your friends, sell your products, try to sell their products, because your friends and parents only will not value you, because there you will get the harshest comments from your friends. Bhai dekh, I can talk here in Bengali also, je geo jogi bhik paina types, like uh,
Yes, sir. I also Bengali.
okay, so geo jogi bhik paina types, like parents will not motivate you to do startup, but the best struggle will be to sell to your parents your idea or your concept. Then you make a prototype, you make a prototype, then start make batch production of those prototypes, sell to few customers, get some good contacts, make some client base, and then when this prototype has you have removed all the bugs, all the like all the problems of that product, then you are finally ready with the product, sell to 10 or 15 customers, then you are ready for investment. So this is a normal like by the book process for a startup to have a investment model. See, startup, there is no rules or something like that. This is how the thing works. As per my 5 years of experience, probably every startup has different type of experiences, but I think this is how you should thought process be like. It may change at any point of time, but this is how the things should work on.
Sir, in case of diamond, we sell it in a small society or a small localization. But if it is a app related startup, then what we do?
So okay, so app later startup. I don't know what is your idea. Suppose just tell me about your idea. If I don't, we can take it offline also. We can take this offline. I think so.
Okay, so I have a question. Am I audible? So
Yes, yes.
okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you, each and every one of the speakers, that your 2 cents were really, really helpful for the people like us and who are into this field of the startup journey. So first of all, thank you very much to all of you. My quick question is, like, suppose if I was in a startup journey, in a revenue state startup journey, so what should be the ideal approach of a startup? Like, uh, let me give you an example. Like, if can we scale fast with risk, or we can slow scale with less risk? So I'm putting it another way. Like, can we scale fast with having some kind of risk, or we can scale slowly but having with less risk? So, what should be the ideal approach in having for having a revenue state startup? So, if
So there is a
you
like 3 line thing that we say, that start with your own money, grow with your clients' money, and scale up with investors' money. So this is the 3 things that we tell, that start with your own money, grow with your clients' money, and scale with your investors' money. So when you
so in
are,
terms of risk,
I'm
in terms
giving,
of
I'm coming to that. So when you are scaling up, and uh, it is obviously it is known that you have already worked with many clients, and you have removed all the possibilities of failure, then only you have sold it to the clients, and the clients are convinced and have given your feedbacks, okay, your product is good, and you are now about to scaling up, or like that. So during scaling up, all the are mitigated in the previous steps, I think so, Shubham. uh, in scaling up, I think that there is no risk at all, because you have already established that business model with your clients. You have removed all the possibilities of failure from the feedbacks of your clients.
correct.
I don't know if
Good
you,
evening,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
yeah, okay, thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. But before you ask the question, let me just tell you, we have to wind up. So this will be the last question of the session. And after that, we will be concluding with the vote of thanks. So yes, you can ask your question. This will be the last question.
I'm Gurusha Rahul from Department of Mechanical Engineering. So my question is, as market is not same every time, so how you overcome the pressure to innovate or improve every time?
So I'll try to answer this question. Basically, if you are a startup, I'm just specifically talking about an innovative business, which is basically known as a startup. So if you are an innovative startup, you are already looking towards the future. You are either you are what you are doing is you have taken an old methodology, put into something innovative. You cannot be devoid of the future. Otherwise, you are not a startup. You are a traditional business. So the thing is, we tend to take into consideration while thinking of our product, not just 1 or 2 years. Coming down the line means 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, even that our product is viable in the coming future. So at the starting, you need to have a rigorous study, and this is what previously was answered, that you need to be, and this is actually what you are taught in startup ecosystem, that you need to be prepared for the coming 5 years and 10 years. And this is how you think of the technology beforehand. Now, going to the continuous process, obviously, this is a challenge to us that we need to adapt every time. And this challenge mitigated if you are thinking of a future perspective. So basically, you are thinking of something you are going to deploy in the coming years. You cannot assume that you will be scaling in just 2 years, 3 years. You just have to have hook onto a long-term dream, and there the future is obviously the only way which you can think of forward. So by parts, you need to develop your team. This is the cycle. You need to innovate on your idea, you need to innovate on your business plans, and then move with the future, going through the process. But at the starting itself, it is the most crucial time which most of us miss, is we should not cling to an idea which is not future oriented, not future scalable. So when you are dedicating your time to something, just think of the future, like the coming 5-10 years. Will it be viable? How much modification I need to do beforehand, before I start? How much preparation I need to put in here so that it remains viable for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line? So basically, improvement is a continuous process, but the pre-thinking on your idea along with the future aspects is the better way. Thanks. So there are questions in the chat also.
Can we go to the voting panel?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, speakers, for your time. Now, I would request Dr. Tanmoy Pal to kindly propose the vote of thanks for today's session. Dr. Pal?
Thank you, madam. The session today was on innovation and entrepreneurship, and has been well established by all the stakeholders of our country that this has become the current need of our country and also of our society. And as the stakeholders of this institute, IIST-Shibpur, we need to shoulder the responsibility to foster the innovation and entrepreneurship culture in the institute. On this note, I will thank the director, Professor Parthasarathi Chakraborty, for his constant support and guidance for conducting these programs. I wish to thank our President, Professor Subhashis Bhomik, and Vice President, Professor Konikadar Bhattacharya, and all the faculty and student coordinators of IIC for their tireless effort. I wish to thank Professor Kollan Kumar Bhar and Dr. Ashok Adho for their support from KECU to make this event possible. I also wish to thank all deans, registrar, aid, and faculty for extending their support in this endeavor. And I am extending my gratitude to Mr. Pratik Sinha, Mr. Devajit Teka, Mr. Kollan Kole, and Mr. Suruchi Gagon for sharing their stories with the IIST community. I hope that some of the students will take up entrepreneurship as current opportunity, as career opportunity in future. We want to present you a token of appreciation, and it will be sent to you in letter. Last but not the least, I wish to thank our students for participating in this program and making this event a success. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you. And
I think we can conclude the session today now.
yes, we shall declare the session concluded. Subhashish, you want to say something to your students? And we are so happy. And if the boys, our boys, want some question, they can get the contact number writing to Alan Davis. Alan Davis 248 at gmail.com. If you don't get, you can write. Those who have more questions, you can write to Alan. He will share the numbers of the speakers. Please take this email, alandavis248 at gmail.com. He will get you the speaker's contacts. So please speak to the boys and girls if they have any questions. And the mementos will reach you on time. So, Tanmay, if you have anything else to say, just can continue.
No, I think we can conclude.
Okay, okay. And you can start writing books on your journeys. I think like Chetan Bhagat. So it will be another great success story. Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, thank you. I'd just like to add one thing, like, Drone Stack Lab is also looking for interns. So if anybody would be interested in any, doing any kind of internship, be it technical or non-technical, you can anytime drop me a mail. We can discuss it on offline for this.
Okay, okay. And would you please send it to Tanmay or Dean Research, who wrote the invitation to you? You can send that request to him so it can get circulated officially.
Definitely, ma'am. I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That would be good. Yeah.
And I am sharing my email address, so if anybody has any query that needs to be passed on to the to the speakers, you can send it to me, and then Alan Davis also madam has given. So either you can.
I can write Tanmay.
At the end of the program, hello. At the end of the program, I have one queries in my mind. That how we can attract our students for entrepreneurship and the startup activity. There is no job. Every time the students say there is no job in the market, and they are desperately looking for the job. But when we ask them to participate in this kind of activity, the response is poor. We cannot attract our students from the past years. Maybe at the end of the year, when they find that there is no other alternative, then they just start their journey. So what should be the method? The university or the institute, academic body, we should start from our side, so that we can attract the people, attract the students to start the journey in the area of startup. So this is the questions I raise to all of you, to the experts and to the students also. So they should think that how they can motivate themselves. One has to motivate, means motivation should come from own, like, okay.
Sir, what I think is, I'm Prantik. So what I think is, if we can engage with the students and the college, see, suppose IST Shibpur have many problems, right? So the problem solving skills is one of the skills uh, that can be taught or engaged in with the college students and teachers, because uh, a problem solving skill only give rise to a startup, because a startup is all about solving a problem. See, sir, that every problem cannot give rise to a business model. It can be a non-profitable organization also. It can rise to an NGO also. So a startup is not only a profitable or a private limited company. It can be, see, IIM Calcutta Innovation Park is a startup of startups, and it is a non-profitable organization. So so the problem solving attitude has to be imbibed from the first year, which I believe. See, a college can have many problems, like suppose good food from the canteen or something like those. I'm not able to gather the problems, but they have many problems in the colleges. If we can create a small group and the team building activities can be done by solving a problem, and they can be awarded or rewarded by any kind of means, cash or in kind, then I think they will be motivated. This is how what I feel after, when I take interns from colleges and I see that people are happy if they get small reward or prizes. Probably in terms of 10,000 or 5,000 rupees if they can solve a problem of a college. Like giving it to a tender to outside contractor, the students can only solve the problem of their own colleges, which I believe. And this can rise to a small CEO or a small co-founder of that small group. From this only we can start with how the college can help. Baki sir, it should come from within.
Acha, you can take the interns from us now. So that is a probable place where IMC itself, IMC incubation park, or your companies separately take the interns. So we
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
How are we going to write? I mean, you are going to write to the dean research, or as I am Kolkata Innovation Park, or as the company, as your company.
Madam, one thing I think I can share that this innovation concept or this entrepreneurship concept that has the government of India has taken up this initiative because this kind of model has been successful in the Western countries. If we see the Western countries like USA or Europe, all these countries means they have started these entrepreneurship journeys from right through their college.
Yes, that's true.
And
That's true.
if nowadays, if any new entrepreneur wants to go for teaching in these countries, they have to talk with some person who is Harvard graduate or MIT graduate in that way. So that is our aim, that as a technical institute, we have to take the lead in this entrepreneurship work. So this kind of activity or this kind of pedagogy has already been proven in the Western countries. And that is why I think that the government of India has taken this initiative that this kind of culture or this kind of environment need to be fostered in the higher education institute. Because this is
Yeah.
the only platform where a student can get an opportunity to know about the entrepreneurship. Means it is not possible for every student to open an entrepreneurship right after the graduate. It is not. Sometimes it may not be feasible practically. But over the year, after 10 years, after 5 years, over the down the line, sometime a student can think about that. What are the options for entrepreneurship? And this kind of platform, they can know that what are the possible ways, what are the possible avenues to start their journey. So that is how this student should get benefited. And this kind of effort it needs to be circulated among the students. That it is not like that we all want you to entrepreneur, but over down the line 5 year or down the line 10 year, we can expect that at least some students can start their own entrepreneurship, and that will not only grow themselves, but that will also grow the country also.
Yeah. Yeah, very good, Tanmay. That's right. So we want entrepreneurs. I mean, you entrepreneurs to take our boys as interns so they know what how much the journey costs in terms of sweat, in terms of resilience, in terms of patience, in terms of innovative ideas at the last. So mementos will reach Subhashish. Mementos ওই IIM ক্যালকাটা পার্কে যাবে, ওখানেই যাবে না মেমেন্টোস গুলো ওদের অ্যাড্রেসে তোমাদের।
ম্যাম আমি শিবপুর থেকে তুলে নেব।
আচ্ছা মেমেন্টোস রেডি হলে ওকে ওকে এই প্রান্তিক তুলে নেবে, ঠিক আছে, ভালো হলো।
We will arrange the mementos to each and every speakers.
হ্যাঁ,
আমার স্যারের সঙ্গে দেখা হয়ে যাবে, মেমেন্টোস নিয়ে আসবে।
And we will arrange it.
yes. Okay, thank you very much. It was
See you,
very
ma'am.
informative for all of us also. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. Yeah, ma'am. Myself, Roshan Singh. I'm a secondary student in IIST Shibpur, and I am a startup
So, ma'am, I have a suggestion for our incubation center. Just like Prantik Sinha and the four more speakers, those who are studied in our college, so they can guide us in our incubation center for mentorship and lots of things that they face. And now we are also facing all these things, and we need some guidance and mentorship. So,
Okay, we can write down this suggestion in the report. We can write down the suggestion in the report, of course, and we will have to place it to the director for his approval. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you to all the experts.
Thank you to Shuruti. Thank you to Deka, Mr. Deka. Thank you to Mr. Kole. And thank you, of course, to Prantik. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Prantik. Close, Pradeep.